In 1988, my mother-in-law, Joanne, died due to bone cancer. It was a devastating blow to our family, especially because she was only 46 years old. A few months later, the blow was softened by a letter stating that she was a registered organ donor. I thought, what possibly could she have donated due to her body being ridden of cancer? But the letter stated that she was able to give the gift of sight to two individuals through the donation of her corneas. I was only 20 years old at the time, but it deeply touched me. And 30 years later, it still touches me now. What I'd like to speak with you about is organ donation. I'd like to start off with sharing some statistics that I learned on organdonor.gov. There are currently 119,000 men, women, and children who are currently on the National Transplant Waiting List. In 2015, there were over 30 transplant surgeries done, although 22 people die every single day while waiting on this list. 95% of U.S. adults support organ donation, while only 51% are actually a registered organ donor. Every 10 minutes, a person is added onto the transplant waiting list. Only 3 in 1,000 people actually die in a way that will allow them to be an organ donor. But one person can save 8 lives through organ donation. So what organs can be donated? Well, your heart, both your lungs, both your kidneys, your pancreas, liver, intestines, both your corneas, and other tissues. So why is there so much disparity among those who support organ donation and those who actually register as to be an organ donor? Well, according to the article, Why Don't More People Want to Donate Their Organs? In the November 2014 edition of Atlantic.com, there was a study done that showed that there was a lot of mistrust in the medical field and actually what is being brain dead. It was found that when people mistrust the medical field, they are less likely to donate their organs or be willing to donate their organs. Also, there are a lot of people who subscribe to the idea that if a doctor knows that you are a registered organ donor, that they will less likely want to save your life. Now, according to the mayoclinic.org website, this is a myth. Doctors, when you come in for treatment, doctors' main focus is to save your life, not someone else's. Also, according to the United Network for Organ Sharing, it also states that the number one priority of doctors when you are ill or injured is to save your life, and that the only way you can be able to share organs is if you are deemed brain dead by a medical professional. Now, I'd like to share with you a story about my friend Maddie. She is a 23-year-old beautiful young woman who suffers from the chronic illness, cystic fibrosis, that affects her lungs due to a sticky mucus that buildup that clogs her airways, which causes bacteria to get trapped and serious infection to develop that weakens her lungs. She does multiple daily breathing treatments and is now on 24/7 oxygen. Over this last year, Maddie has been hospitalized what seems to be an every other month basis. And in April, she reached out to her friends to possibly get an organ donor for lungs for herself. This story deeply touches us because we know Maddie and we love her and we want her life to be spared. Now, another obstacle that is in some people's way of wanting to be a registered organ donor is religious beliefs. Now, most religions believe that the gift of organ donation is an act of love. And research has shown that Catholics are less likely to want to donate, even though the Vatican has its official position is in favor of it. Now, it seems that it is because of their belief of the afterlife, which is similar to the LDS belief as well, and their concern for maintaining body integrity. Now, my father, who was also LDS, also believed this same way. And so I decided to find out what the official position of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is, and went and talked to my bishop. And we read out of the Handbook 1 about this particular topic, and I'd like to read it to you. It states under organ and tissue donation and transplants. The donation of organs and tissues is a selfless act that often results in great benefit to individuals with medical conditions. The decision to will or donate one's own body, organs, or tissues for medical purposes, or the decision to authorize the transplant of organs or tissues from a deceased family member is made by the individual or deceased family member. A decision to receive donated organs should be made after receiving competent medical counsel and confirmation through prayer. Now, this year, in the Christmas season, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints also has a special program called Light the World. It's a service Advent calendar to help you become closer to Christ during this time of year. For December 5th, the theme for the day is Jesus healed the sick and so can I. And one of the suggested activities is actually to register as an organ donor. And that's what I would like to challenge you to do today. Many of you may have already done this through the Department of Motor Vehicles on your driver's license, but please double check to make sure you've done so. And if not, register on donatelife.net or organdonor.gov. It only takes about 5 minutes to do this procedure. I encourage you and your loved ones to participate in registering to become an organ donor to possibly save a life, such as my friend Maddie's.